Welcome back. This is Kaya Redford. All right, so here we are. Now we're going to start talking about goals. Question for you. Would you like to know what the secret is to goal achieving? Would you like to know what it is that certain people do, the successful people, that set goals and always achieve them? And what's the difference that perhaps the unsuccessful people do, or a way of thinking, that they set goals and they don't achieve them? So would you like to learn the tools and the skills and the mindset and really the secret to goal achieving, and why certain people, the successful ones, always set goals and always achieve those goals, and why other people fall short and remain, or success is something that they don't achieve as a result? You would? Okay. So as you see here, we have a nice pie chart. And these are areas, goal areas of your life. You can have goals that you can achieve in the area of career, in the area of family, in the area of relationships, in the area of personal growth and development, in the area of health and fitness, in the area of spirituality. You have goals that you can achieve in any area. So my question is to you, do you have goals? One goal in any one of these areas that you really have a burning desire to achieve. Pick an area, pick any area, whichever first area for you. I'm going to go with, let's say, the career. Okay, most people taking this program are looking to increase their financial abundance. They want to create wealth and prosperity for themselves, for their family, for their loved ones. So let's go with career. Within career, what could we have in there? We could have money, right? Our ability to earn money. In career, we could have creativity. Someone that's in film may say, I want to have the role of my life. They want to, someone who's in sports may want to win the gold medal. So it's not always about money. It could be about something else that's a way that they win in their career. But let's just go money as an example, okay? So if you take this as an example, do you have a financial goal? You do? Over the next 12 months? Okay. Awesome. Have you set goals in the past and achieved them? Okay. I'm imagining, most of us, we were born to be successful. We were brought here. Look at kids when they're born, they learn how to walk, they fall so many times, they still figure out how to walk. We're like success machines, yes? So probably you have goals that you've achieved before. Let me ask you another question. Have you set goals and you didn't achieve them? Perhaps something happened along the way. Maybe you got discouraged, maybe you lost motivation, maybe you discovered it wasn't what you wanted, maybe you procrastinated. A lot of people have that problem called procrastination, which, by the way, I'm going to solve later in this program. We have learning about procrastination that can get rid of procrastination, and also a process that can get rid of it too. But let's start, we're here right now, let's talking about goals. So, question for you. Do you know someone that came up to you at some point in your life and said to you, I want to make more money? Maybe even was you, right? I want to make more money. Maybe you said that to someone. And when that person said it to you, okay, they said to you, I want to make more money, you heard it, and they went through their process. You happened to run into them 6 months later, maybe even a year later, and you had a discussion with them, and you said, hey, how was that, that goal of yours? Your goal was that you were going to make this amount of money in this new business or with this new opportunity. Can you remember a situation like that? And have you had a situation where when you asked that person how they did on their goal, where you realized that they didn't achieve the goal? They told you months prior or a year prior they had this goal that they wanted to achieve. And now 6 months has passed or a year passed, and when you ask them about the goal, they haven't achieved the goal. Maybe they took one step forward, but then they took 2 steps back, and maybe they took 1 step forward, but then they took 2 steps back. A lot of people seem to have this kind of, they make money, then they lose it. Then they make money, then they lose it. They make money, then lose it. They get healthy, then they, they gain the weight back. They get healthy, then they gain the weight back. They get healthy, then they gain the weight back. It's almost like a roller coaster. There's never seems to be any consistency. What we call that sometimes is self-sabotage. They go, but they don't go all the way. And then they regress, they go backwards. So have you ever met someone like that? And by the way, I have a solution to that as we're going to continue through this program and the next program after this. And yet for now, we're talking about goals, and I want us to understand that there is a gap, some type of a gap between the people that set an intention and achieve the goal versus the people that set an intention and don't seem to move, they don't seem to get toward the goal. So that being said, as you look at that, my question to you is, why do many people set goals and yet they don't achieve them? If you had to think about this, because it's really good to think about this question because it may apply to us in our life. We don't want to be, I'm sure you don't want to be that person that sets goals and doesn't achieve them. You want to be, right? You want to be the person that set goals and always achieves them every single time. Would that be powerful for you to learn those secrets? Yes? Absolutely. So the question is why? Why do some people set goals and yet they don't achieve them? I alluded to it already. What word did I say? I said the word gap. There seems to be a gap between the intention and actual manifestation. So the gap between intention and manifestation. In other words, when that person said to you they wanted to achieve the goal, it's true, they wanted to, right? Why would they have said it if they didn't intend to do it? And yes, there's some schools of thought, people that say, if you fell short in your goal, then you never intended to achieve it. They say that the true intention of a person was what they ended up getting. Honestly, I'm not going to argue with that. I know that the principle that they're trying to teach is a good principle. I get it, but I'd like to go past that and beyond that. Can we do that? So I'm going to say that when the person says to you, when you've said to yourself, or if you've said to someone else, I intend to achieve this goal, I'm going to say that you wanted it. I'm going to say that person really did intend it. So why is it that that person struggles in getting to manifestation? Why is that? What's the gap? And along that question, I'm going to continue down here. And we're going to look at new things that also relate to the same question. And this one is, what is the gap between setting goals and achieving goals? Why is it that people set goals and achieve them all the time? And why do other people set goals and don't achieve them? And then finally, what is the gap between knowing what to do and doing what we know? There's a gap. If you look at a couple of different examples, think about health and fitness. I have many friends actually who are fitness trainers. And they work at a gym, and they said, Kaya. And I said, yeah, what's going on? They said, it's interesting because you teach motivational coaching and success coaching. It's funny. People buy gym memberships just before summer and right after Thanksgiving. I said, really? He says, yeah. When they pack on those pounds, around the holiday time, Thanksgiving, they feel really gorgeous. They go to the gym and they make this resolution, even New Year's resolutions, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to make more money, or whatever that goal is. He says, and they come for a few weeks. He says, in some cases, they buy a 5-year membership. They put out thousands of dollars for a 5-year membership, and he says, guess what happens? I said, what? I already pretty much knew. He says, within 3-4 weeks, they quit. And then some of them will call and try to get their money back, and some of them will just lose the money. It's not even about the money. It's about the lost opportunity for the person to be the best that they could be, for them to be healthy, for them to live a healthy, abundant life. So people sign up for these memberships, not everybody. I'm talking about the people that fail on their goals. Not talking about you and I necessarily, but people that fail on their goals. They buy a membership and then within a few weeks they quit. He says the other time of year they do it is summer, when they want to get that six-pack. They want to put those bikinis on or those Speedos on. They get the gym membership because they want to look good on the beach. And then after, summer, winds down or whatever, they don't worry about it and they gain all the weight back. So again, it's what I was talking about, the roller coaster. Also, when we look at the bottom one here, knowing what to do and doing what we know, people know that they will be healthier and have more energy, more vitality, will be able to do better in their life if they, get healthy, if they lose weight. People know that if in the area of business, if they're in marketing or in sales, if they're in real estate or if they're in financial services, they know that prospecting, getting out there, meeting people, shaking people's hands, seeing how I can help them, seeing how they can help them, by seeing if they have any real estate needs or if they need financial awareness or financial planning. They know that prospecting is the key to success. Meeting people, building relationships for a lifetime, referrals, all of that. They know that prospecting is a key. They know that they need to make 100 phone calls a day, or they know they need to knock on 100 doors a day. But do they actually do it? I asked one person one time, he said, I'm struggling. And I said, what business are you in? He said, sales. I said, what's going on? And he said, he gave me all these different stories and different things. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yes. I said, how many calls did you make yesterday? What do you mean? I said, sales calls. One, he said. And I said, okay. How many calls, sales calls, prospecting opportunities did you have the day before? I got distracted with this. I didn't make any calls. So 0. I said, how many the day before? 0. And basically what I found out, he made 5 sales calls in a whole week. In an industry which, by the way, 30 is minimum. You got to be making 30 phone calls. Many people that I train are making 100, 200, 300 phone calls per day because it's really the law of numbers, right? So the person knows that he needs or she needs to prospect. They need to get out there, need to make phone calls, they need to knock on doors to sell their products. Remember, we talked about selling the value that you bring to the world. You can't do that sitting on your couch without picking up the phone or without meeting anybody. You can't attract the love of your life by not going anywhere, sitting on your couch. I mean, I know they have apps for that, but still, you got to meet the person. You got to get up and go. So people know what to do. They know what they need to do to be successful, but yet they don't walk their talk. They don't do it. They don't take the action. One of my coaches, early days, before I studied with Richard Bandler, John Grinder, and learned N.L.P, neuro-linguistic programming, before I worked with and studied timeline therapy, I studied early days with my good friend, Bob Proctor, which, by the way, you probably know him. He's in the movie The Secret, the DVD movie that became a hit, and there's also a book called The Secret. And it was good. It's something that I learned then that I feel was very impactful. And in that movie, The Secret, it talks about the law of attraction. Question for you. What is the last 6 letters of the word attraction? Someone said, attract. I said, not the first 6 letters, the last 6 letters of the word attraction. Action. Action. What does that tell us? Within the law of attraction, there is action, is the last 6 letters of the word attraction. You cannot really invoke, you cannot really benefit, you cannot really harness the power of the law of attraction if you don't take action. So people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. A lot of people. Maybe you know someone like that. So yes, action is a big piece of the puzzle. But what if I were to tell you that's really not the thing? There's a reason why people don't take the action that comes even before action. What is the gap? What is the thing that, the reason, the difference that makes the difference between the person that sets goals and always achieves them versus the person that sets goals and struggles and doesn't achieve them? Yes, this person here that sets goals and always achieves them takes action, yes. But there's a reason why they take actions. It's not action itself, because I'll give you an example. Do you know someone that takes action all the time, but they never seem to go anywhere? Do you know someone that's always busy, 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 doing activities, 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 but they have nothing to show for it? You know, like spinning on the hamster wheel round and round and round, and you just look at them and then you just makes your head spin and they never get anywhere in life. And they're taking all the action you can imagine, but they're still nowhere. So action in and of itself, yes, action is important, but action in and of itself is not the answer. So what is the answer? Okay, so that's what we're going to explore in this program. We're going to learn what is the gap between the intention and manifestation, so that when I intend it, I can cross a bridge and actually get to the other side and manifest what I want to manifest. We're going to learn the gap between setting goals and achieving them, so that when I set goals, I always achieve them. We're going to learn the gap and how to fill the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. We're going to be able to learn the bridge with all three of these so that you can end up being successful. Okay? So, awesome video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Congratulations.